Good morning. I'm Tristan Winder in the News 2 streaming studio with the Morning Pulse here on this Monday, February 17th, a President's Day. Remind you, so all government buildings, federal offices, banks, institutions like that are closed for the holiday today. We begin with a troubling statistic. Since 2009, pedestrian deaths have increased by more than 80%, according to a new study conducted by AAA. It found that dark city roads are the deadliest for pedestrians at nights, and these deaths typically happen in socially and economically disadvantaged neighborhoods.
And it's affecting people whose main mode of transportation, if they're using public transit, they have to walk to a bus stop if they're walking to school or walking to work.
One potential solution that has been suggested by AAA is working with state and local leaders to design and upgrade roads for vehicle and pedestrian safety. In health news today, the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services shared an update on tuberculosis cases in Nebraska, along with an outbreak in Kansas City. In a release sent out on Friday, DHHS said that there were 41 cases in the state of Nebraska, and while that number is relatively low, they say it's a 20-year high. According to the release, counties around Kansas City have reported 67 patients with active tuberculosis as part of the outbreak. But DHHS says no cases in Nebraska have been linked to what's been happening in Kansas City. And tragic news over the past weekend as we lost one of Nebraska's finest. Since 2008, Huskers have come to know and love the voice of Greg Sharp for his play-by-play of Nebraska football and baseball. Over the weekend, Sharp's family announcing that he died on Friday after his battle with pancreatic cancer at just 61 years of age. Sharp had announced his diagnosis in April of 2024 on the Husker Radio Network after learning of his condition that March. Sharp did continue to announce multiple Husker football games during the 2024 season. Just last month, the Nebraska Athletic Department honored Sharp by renaming Memorial Stadium's radio booth after him. He had been a senior announcer, host, and producer of Nebraska Athletics and the Huskers Radio Network since 2008. He was named the 2024 Nebraska Sportscaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association. Rest in peace to a Nebraska legend, the great Greg Sharp. In other news today, the Agriculture Department has issued a conditional license to a company to produce a bird flu vaccine for chickens. The vaccine maker is Zoetis, and a company spokesperson says that the scientists began updating its existing vaccine several years ago. Other countries are already using the vaccine against birds with this virus, but the United States has tried to eradicate it instead. Critics say that a vaccine is not the answer, but some countries may not import birds that are vaccinated, so that would have a big impact potentially on imports and exports. And in consumer headlines, the Food and Drug Administration has set a recall of nearly 2.5 million cases of Made Good brand granola bars at a Class 2 recall. The Chicago-based company Riverside Natural Foods is voluntarily recalling products due to a possible metal contamination. The company said that the metal could be from a small flat brush bristle used in manufacturing processes. The FDA's rating means that the product could cause temporary or medically reversible health conditions and consequences, and Make Good says it'll refund any products on the recall. For more information, you can visit fda.gov. And lastly today, YouTube and Paramount have struck a deal to keep Paramount's channels on the video platform. Just days ago, an agreement appeared to be in limbo after contract talks had deteriorated due to carriage fees. In a statement, YouTube TV said that it is happy to they've reached a deal, to carry Paramount's offerings, which include Showtime, Nickelodeon, and of course, CBS. Writing out the Morning Pulse here on this Monday, February 17th, with a check of the 7-day forecast. It's going to be a cold one, and snow is continuing to fall here across greater Nebraska. Definitely use caution when traveling here throughout the week, and be prepared in that travel as well, especially if you're going to be doing long-distance traveling. And that also might not be a bad idea to leave a little bit of a trickle on that spout as well, because it's going to get awfully cold in the overnight hours. Definitely want to prevent some freezing pipes. Just topping out at 13 today. 3 is going to be the high tomorrow, and then we're going to remain in single digits. Our next chance to get above freezing isn't going to come until late this week into the weekend. But my, oh my, if we can just make it to that weekend, how nice it'll feel.